Hello, everyone. Welcome back uh, to this next session of Scholars in Blockchain International Symposium hosted by the British Blockchain Association. My name is Naseem Naqvi. I am the founding president of the BBA and editor-in-chief of the Journal of the British Blockchain Association. We are very pleased to host this world's first of its kind event, inviting professors in blockchain from leading academic institutions to share with us their expert insights and guidance and tips. We started at 8 o'clock this morning, 8 a.m. UK time, and we had a very, very busy day. We started with New Zealand and Australia and moved across the globe. And we have now reached America, Latin America. We do have a couple of speakers from Europe. So very warm welcome. So each speaker has 5 minutes to talk about themselves, their institution, and blockchain research and education opportunities offered by their university, their department, and then finally any advice, tips, and suggestions they have for blockchain, Web3, crypto, fintech researchers. If we have time in the end, we will take 1 or 2 questions. So the order of speakers we have, first we have Professor Mangle. Andrew, are you here? Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
So Andrew, a very warm welcome. Nice to see you again after a long time.
Yes.
Andrew has been with us for almost 7 years now. Andrew participated in our first Scholars in Blockchain International Scientific Conference in London. It was 2019, and he has been an excellent member of the association, excellent reviewer, writes very thorough and very constructive reviews for the JBBA. So Andrew, there you go. You have 5 minutes. Yes, your time. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation to participate today and collaborate with blockchain scholars. It's great seeing the global participation in this event. For those who I've not met, I want to introduce myself. My name is Andrew Mangle. I'm an associate professor in management information systems in the College of Business at Bowie State University. It's Maryland's oldest historically Black college and university, founded in 1865, just located north of Washington, D.C. in the United States. Since the inception of the BBA and the JBBA, I've personally grown my efforts alongside both the journal and the association, and hopefully you can see the impact of blockchain, and most importantly, I call it blockchain tangential research. Engaging with the BBA and JBBA for me personally, and hopefully for you as well, has opened many doors, and I'm grateful for the work being done by the cohort of researchers in the JBBA itself. I've had the pleasure with working with public and private enterprises on blockchain and distributed ledger technology. Over the past 8 years, I've been able to research things as tokenization, open payment systems, zero-knowledge proofs, data autonomy, and security using distributed ledger technology. Blockchain's nice to say, but there's so much behind that one word. I've been able to work on some great projects, such as asteroid mining. How would we extract goods using distributed ledger technology to verify contents that were mined or contents that were delivered? You can also put provenance using blockchain on it. It was captured here, and link it directly to a specimen. Using it to capture human trafficking, using blockchain for illicit purposes, and monitoring those through blockchain analysis. Building long-term care management systems that facilitate the verification of sort of first to client or first to customer, to say blockchain can codify on the blockchain, decentralized trust, that something occurred at a particular time. Also digital credential management. So how do you verify someone has credentials? And as well as distributed ledger-based security management using hashing. These have been some of the research opportunities I've explored. I thoroughly enjoyed this emerging technology, watching it grow beyond just blockchain as basically a software technology to academic discussions and research, and really the convergence with other technologies amplifying those, such as artificial intelligence and large language models, see the data that's being created and being able to extrapolate and utilize it. So being as a leverage and a tool. The work that is provided in the blockchain has provided the foundation for research draws attention to blockchain, I call them supported or tangential innovations. So some things like intelligent systems, NFTs, Web3, autonomous organizations, decentralized finance, immersive economies, secure healthcare, and more are all part of these blockchain tangential services. If you've been reading the JBBA, you'd already be aware of these because these were cover stories. So you can just see the breadth of blockchain. Now, an area that I'm hopeful for that has really spun out of blockchain are zero knowledge proofs. You probably are familiar with Zcash or other Monero trying to create this anonymous transaction. That technology that was built using blockchain, I see other places for it to be applied. And one opportunity that I see potential in is aiding AI governance for an open payment system. So tracking how things have done. One of the benefits of open payments is that you have this information. I mean, for AI, like you don't have to share that you're ethical and it doesn't have bias. You can just run it through a zero knowledge proof. I'm excited about these advances in blockchain ecosystems. So like layer 0, layer 2, and even layer 3 development, building upon what we've been doing. At Bowie State University, we're creating pathways for students in blockchain that are not dependent upon major and class standing. The breadth of the opportunities in blockchain is robust, and blockchain is no longer restricted to technology and finance. The real question is, how can we move forward? I'm seeking opportunities to research in the blockchain further, extend previous work, and spot green shoots. In addition to academic partnerships, their collaborators are across government and business that see this as an advantageous tool for growth and opportunity. Blockchain continues to offer distinct competencies that add value, such as trust, decentralization, security, redundancy, transparency, that can be added to existing and future business solutions. I want to thank you for attending and the opportunity to participate today, and I hope we can keep the momentum going. And thank you again, Naseem, for your leadership in this space.
Thank you very much, Professor Mangle. Excellent summary. And well done. Congratulations for all the hard work you've been doing. I've been following you on LinkedIn also for some time. So thank you very much for that. Next speaker we have is Cesare Fracassi, Professor Fracassi. And then we'll have Professor Lim after that. Thank you. I think you are on mute.
It's a pleasure to be here. I actually have a couple of slides. They told me not to have slides, but I think it's better just to provide some visuals here. Let me know if you do not see these the slides. So I am the director of the UT Blockchain Initiative on campus. UT is University of Texas. We basically have three main objectives. First is to bring together all the smart PhD students and faculty around campus from electrical engineering, computer science, business school, school of information, and bring them all together to do research around crypto and blockchain. The second mandate is to expand the teaching curriculum related to crypto, digital payments, and blockchain. And the third one is to just be a hub of knowledge where we have events, conferences with industry practitioners, policymakers, and media. Let me tell you briefly about myself. Associate Professor of Finance. I got my PhD in finance at UCLA and Anderson. I directed the Blockchain Initiative. Most of my research is done around fintech and crypto. Historically, I've done a lot of work on corporate finance, and that has been inspiring also my research work, recent work around crypto. And I teach fintech to both undergrad and grad students. I also do some policy work. I was a member of the Texas Work Group on Blockchain Matters, advising the governor of Texas on blockchain usage. And also I went on leave, and I was the chief economist of the Economies Institute for about a year. My research is at the intersection between TradFi, CeFi, and DeFi. And so what I'm going to do, I picked two projects that we just finished developing, and I'm going to just present just two slides each, just to give you an idea of what we're doing, and I'll talk about the work in progress. The first one is about governance. I done a lot of work in traditional corporate governance. And so the big question in crypto is who actually pulls the string, who makes changes to the protocol. And so people say that crypto is fully decentralized, but at some point, someone has to make a decision. And so what we did is we actually reviewed the process of how to make changes in Ethereum. These are called EIPs, Ethereum Improvement Proposals. And so we basically collected data about all the proposals that have been done, who actually was the proposer, who participated in the discussion. Ethereum has several venues, from conferences to Ethereum Magician, Fellowship of Magicians, to dev calls. And then we look at which proposal have been passed, which have been implemented and in client and adopted. So we collect a lot of data just to give you some of the results. This is the network of co-authorship. So every proposal can be single authored or co-authored with other people. And so if you co-author with a lot of other people, you are in the center of this on this network. So the big question that we were after is who are the entities or individuals that actually have the most influence in proposing changes to the Ethereum protocol. And so you can see this is an example of who are the most important players. The second part is to see how concentrated is the production of ideas and innovation around Ethereum. These are called Lorenz curve. It basically shows you how many people do percentages of co-author percentage of the EIPs, especially when it comes to EIPs that are actually very important, like core EIP that actually affect the client software. We can see that actually only about 10 people are actually authoring almost 60 to 70% of all the core EIPs in the in Ethereum. So the production of ideas in Ethereum is quite concentrated in the hands of few people. Another project I actually have is called Pure Momentum in Crypto. When cryptos are traded 24/7, so for example, this is an old picture of the price of crypto of Bitcoin over the last day, in the last day of several years ago. And so you can see that when you report returns in crypto, because they are traded 24/7, you, as a reference point, you can say, oh, today the price of Bitcoin went up, in this case, 0.87%, relative to the reference price of 24 hours ago. So one of the issues in reporting returns in this way is that when time goes by, the changes in returns depends on both what happened to the price of Bitcoin since the last time you looked at, and also what happened in the last 24 hours. Because, for example, I can show you, I can predict in these graphs here that in about 6 hours, the return displayed on Bitcoin is going to go up. And the reason is because the reference price drops from 45.88K to 44.50K. And so what you can do, you can actually predict what the displayed returns are by just looking at what happened 24 hours ago. And so if people are subject to this idea of momentum that they chase the winners, we should be able to see that actually returned 24 hours ago. So there is basically a simple serial correlation in crypto returns. You should be able to see that return 24 hours ago affect returns today in time t. And this is exactly what we find. We find that people are influencing by how returns are displayed. And by looking at this rolling time window, we find it actually returns 24 hours ago for 1 hour, impact return of the next hour. So these are two examples of some of the papers that I've been working on in crypto. Let me tell you a couple of work in progress that I'm actually very excited about. One is about anti-money laundering. We've been collecting a lot of data about AML policies and compliances, and we also have a case study on crypto. The second one is looking at best execution of order routing in crypto DeFi. And then we have two more projects. One is looking at adverse selection in decentralized exchanges. We know that when we trade in traditional exchanges, market makers face adverse selection problems. And so the question, how do you measure that in crypto, especially with automated market makers? And we're going to assess how relevant that is in indexes. And the last one is we basically are replicating what we have been done with Ethereum in terms of governance, and we're going to contrast and compare Ripple XRPL governance related to Ethereum governance. So these are the four main projects we're actually currently working on. And if you have any questions, just shoot me an email.
Thank you very much, Professor Fracassi. Thank you. Excellent. Congratulations on all the exciting projects that you're doing. Next, we have is Professor Lim. Welcome. Let me bring you. Okay. Professor Fracassi, can you stop sharing? Okay, thank you. That's it. Yes, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Professor Seongbae Lim from the Greece School of Business at St. Mary University in San Antonio, Texas. I'm also collaborating with UCL Center for Blockchain Technology as a research associate. First, I would like to introduce my school and university. So founded on a mission of faith, integrity, and service, St. Mary's has been committed to educating ethical leaders since 1852. At the Greece School of Business, we are preparing students to excel professionally while making a positive impact on society. Through rigorous academic and a focus on community, our graduates emerge as principled leaders ready to serve and inspire, actually. I'm delighted to be here today to share my research journey and idea about how we can harness technology to address the pressing challenges of our world. My research can be divided into two main areas. The first focuses on innovation through information systems to explore how we might overcome the tension between corporate profitability and social contribution. I asked the question, can we create a smart future where business and society thrive together? This work has led to the publication of my book titled Living Innovation in the United Kingdom. The second area centers on using blockchain strength, such as transparency, traceability, security, token economies, and decentralized autonomous organization to tackle societal problems. For example, one of my current projects is on preventing school violence using blockchain technology. I believe that by utilizing blockchain's decentralized ledger system, we can enable relevant parties to share signs and patterns related to potential violence, ensuring that these signals are recorded and cannot be denied by related parties. This transparency could significantly strengthen our ability to prevent school violence in advance. Another research topic of mine related to blockchain is how blockchain can be used to help achieve the Sustainable Development Goal 2030 set by the United Nations. So I have done a lot of speech about this topic all around the world. So, on the other hand, in my teaching, I focus on undergraduate and MBA courses such as digital transformation, innovation strategy, business intelligence, and blockchain and fintech. What connects this topic is the role of blockchain as a transformative force. So the unique feature of blockchain, including decentralized ledger, token economies, and smart contract, have the potential to reshape individual, organization, and even entire nation. Ultimately, I believe this technology can drive the world toward a future defined by shared growth and then prosperity. It's truly inspiring to be with all of you today as we envision a brighter future shaped by blockchain technology. I hope that today's event serves as a pivotal moment in our journey toward a better global community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Lim. Uh, how do we balance corporate profitability and social impact? That was an excellent thought.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So next we have Professor Werbach, Kevin Werbach. Kevin, can you hear me?
I can.
Hello. Hello. Yes. Yes. Please go ahead. Thank you. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for all that you do in terms of promoting work in this area. I am at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, which is one of the world's top business schools. We like to think the best, but certainly a premier business school. Also one of the largest business schools in the world. We have over 240 standing faculty in 10 different academic departments. So we tend to approach issues from multiple directions. And much of what we find that students need to understand to engage with a technology like blockchain are the things that we're already teaching, whether that's about finance or management or data science or statistics or operations. I'm the chair of the Department of Legal Studies and Business Ethics. I've been working on technology policy issues for 20 years at Wharton and 10 years before that, including in the US government. And so I've been long interested in blockchain as a potentially transformative technology. And as also a technology that has very significant implications for the law. And so I've written a book called The Blockchain and the New Architecture of Trust and a number of papers on issues about law, governance. Now I'm also doing additional work on AI and like many people looking at questions at the nexus of blockchain and AI. I lead something called the Blockchain and Digital Asset Project at Wharton, which is a research initiative focused on blockchain issues, predominantly from a legal and regulatory standpoint. It's part of a larger initiative at Wharton called the Initiative of Financial Policy and Regulation, which is addressing other kinds of financial policy and fintech issues. BDAP has been working since 2017, bringing together policymakers, regulators, legal experts, and industry executives from around the world to try to grapple with the cutting edge kinds of issues and try to find common ground on the appropriate kinds of policies and regulatory activities to deal with these incredibly important and fascinating, but also very challenging technologies. That involves bringing people together in person. Also involves a number of reports that we've done. We did 2 reports with the World Economic Forum, one on DeFi and one on DAOs, which were about trying to bring together an expert working group and provide information for different constituencies to demystify the significance of these developments. We have projects that are now starting up along those lines on stablecoins and on tokenization. Again, trying to understand what's actually happening in the market, where things are going from a technology standpoint, and what implications that might have from a policy standpoint. At Wharton, there was also something called the Stevens Center on the Future of Finance, which is another center that has done significant work on blockchain-related issues, predominantly engaging with students. They also have something called the Cypher Accelerator, which is initially blockchain and now broader technology accelerator program. And we don't have a dedicated PhD program in this area, but we do have research fellows who come and work with us who are interested in these topics. So if you're interested in the implications of blockchain for business and in particular regulatory questions around the world, that's the primary thing that I'm focusing on. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Kevin. I think we may have time for one question. I suppose the question that was discussed earlier around how do we ensure that the excellent research that is being conducted is actually applied and the society benefits from it, because a lot of it is buried in scientific journals. How do policymakers, regulators, industry can benefit from it, and how can we prepare these doctoral students and postdocs who are graduating to actually go into the society, into the market and industry, and actually benefit and become a better kind of, guardian of this technology, better educator. Previous panel, Professor Buchanan was saying we use too many jargons. When we go to conferences, we talk amongst ourselves. We understand everything, but when we are talking to a non-technical person, they don't get it, and then we miss this opportunity to make kind of effective contribution. So any quick thoughts on this, Kevin, Andrew, Professor Lim?
Yeah, I would just say that's really all we do. We engage directly with policymakers and with industry, and they are interested in what academics are doing. We often bring researchers, technical researchers, to sessions with regulators, carefully
Right.
curated. It's important to them if they're dealing with these issues. If something comes up around, say, MEV and those kinds of issues. They can't understand the implications unless they are aware of what's on the cutting edge of research. But they need it to be appropriately curated and in some case translated. But no question, very important.
So I have taught blockchain and fintech both to undergraduate student and then MBA student. And then I have made, honestly, a lot of trial and errors. And then what I realized in terms of how we can engage student, it could be student or even broad sense, it could be our society. So we should talk about blockchain in their domain. So for example, when I just approach how we can develop a new product and service kind of thing using blockchain, they don't really engage themselves and then hardly understand. But when I talk about, instead of thinking about what, why don't you think about how? And then look around what you are doing. So for example, how we can improve supply chain management using by blockchain strengths of transparency kind of thing. When I focus on what they understand, like what they are doing, and then ask them to focus on how part, they show a higher level of engagement, and then they could develop a lot of good ideas. So that's my experience, lesson from my experience.
Sure. Andrew, Professor Fracassi, any comments?
I want to echo my colleagues' perspectives. I think you got to be in the right room sharing people and emphasize the work we're doing has merits. I think if I can add one component to it, is like scholars serve a purpose of being sort of unaffiliated, data-driven, really neutral parties. And I think that really is our value. It's like we look at things through an unbiased lens and support it with data. Thank you.
Indeed. I think you are muted. You are muted.
Sorry.
Yes.
One last comment. I think we need to increase the quality of the research that we do. I think we've been talking about blockchain for the last 10, 15 years now, and we're still talking about proof of concepts and ideals. I think it's important to actually see what are really the blocks to actually implement blockchain systems in the economic system, and be honest with ourselves, because blockchain is not going to solve all the problems in the world. Blockchain is a technology, and then we really need to be honest and say these are the things where it can help, and these are the areas in which it's not going to help. And so I think honesty with what really works and what doesn't work is super important.
Thank you. One last quick question to all of you. For students looking to pursue a PhD in blockchain, fintech, Web3, innovative technologies, any pressing, urgent topics for them to consider, to explore? Kevin?
Oh, well, as I said, we don't have a PhD in blockchain. We have a PhD in law and ethics in my department. And so if someone wanted to do work in that area, they would apply to the general PhD program. But no, I would say there's no shortage of interesting, challenging issues out there.
Sure. Professor Lim? I think you are muted.
So, same situation. We don't have any PhD course here, but what I recommend to those who considering offering PhD, maybe we can do interdisciplinary approach. So, for example, recently I developed a module called Blockchain and Cognitive Computing. So, I'm talking about how we can make a synergic combination between blockchain technology and cognitive computing, which make human beings ability for making decision stronger and smarter. And then I got a good reaction from the industry and the research field. Like convergence could be one possible approach to extend room for PhD study.
Thank you. Any final thoughts? Okay, very good. So thank you very much, all of you, for sharing your insights and expertise with us. These sessions will be recorded and be available afterwards to delegates and speakers. Thank you for your time and sharing your expertise with us. Thank you very much. Next session will start in about 20 minutes. So we have some
Thank you
time.
very much.
Thank you.